Okay, another form of non-renewable energy is fuel. Okay, fuels is widely used as the energy for the transportation such as motorcycles, cars and lorries. However, these have a lot of advantages and disadvantages. One of the advantages is they are highly profit to the country that is produce oil, such as Malaysia and Arabic countries. It has a high profit because there is a high demand of the other advantages of the fuels is the fuel is really efficient to the consumer that use it. Okay. Besides, the fuel have a high efficiency compared to the renewable energy. Okay, the third of the advantages of fuels is the fuel is easily transported. This means that the fuels it can be transported anywhere, such as from the sea to the land. However, the fuel have many disadvantages to the people. The one of the disadvantages is it is highly cost. Okay, for our known that the fuel is not stable and it can be go high and go low for the price. The next of disadvantages of the fuel is it is really danger for the environment. It is called the danger of the environment because when the fuel gets spilled in the ocean, it will be affected the environment around it and it might harm the animals too. The another disadvantages of this fuel is the fuel is release the carbon dioxide gas that can be affecting the earth because it can cause the greenhouse effect, and it's really harmful for the environment and the species inside the earth because it might be kill the environment inside it.
Okay, now we move on to the next renewable energy, that is natural gas. I will tell you about the advantages and disadvantages of natural gas. But first, let me tell you what is natural gas. Natural gas is one of the cleanest, safest and most useful form of energy in our day-to-day life. Natural gas is fossil fuel. This means it originates from the remains of plants and animals that lived many millions of years ago. These organisms were buried and exposed to heat as a result of being highly compressed underneath thousands of meters of soil and rock. These forces transform the once living organism into natural gas. The first advantage of natural gas is it is economical. There is an abundant supply of domestic natural gas. Over half of the oil used in this country is imported. The price and supply of oil is susceptible to international events. The second advantage is it is efficient. Natural gas is convenient because the energy source is piped directly to the customer's facility through the safe, efficient pipeline system. There is no need to store oil on site in tanks or schedule oil deliveries. The third advantage of natural gas is it is environmentally clean. Natural gas is the cleanest burning fossil fuel. Because the combustion process for natural gas is almost perfect, very few byproducts are emitted into the atmosphere as pollutant. Also, with the introduction of new technologies, nitrogen oxide, a pollutant targeted by the Clean Air Act, can be significantly reduced. The blue flame seen when the natural gas is ignited is a sign of perfect combustion. Because natural gas burns cleanly, it doesn't leave behind any unpleasant soot, ash, or odors. Now, let's move on to the disadvantage of the natural gas. First is, it is highly combustible or also known as highly flammable. Flammable means that natural gas ignites more easily than other materials and thus are more dangerous and more highly regulated. The last disadvantage of natural gas, it can cause greenhouse effect. When natural gas burns, carbon dioxide, monoxide and other carbon compounds are emitted in the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect. Although it is cleaner than other fossil fuels, as far as byproducts are concerned, natural gas leaks can become more hazardous since methane is 21 times more dangerous than carbon dioxide.
Nuclear energy is another form of non-renewable energy. The application of nuclear energy is from the power plant. Basically, the power plant uses radioactive material to boil the water, and the water is used to generate electricity and supply it to the houses. The advantages of the nuclear energy is it has high reliability. It means that for the long term, it has the same amount of energy that can produce to the houses. The second one is they will not emit a greenhouse effect, so it was a clean energy. And the last one is it has a long expenses. It means that when you use the nuclear energy, it can be used for 100 to 200 years. Disadvantages of nuclear energy is it highly maintenance, so it will cost more money to maintain the nuclear energy. And the next one is it has much more difficulty in the management because it uses radioactive material, so it will maybe can cause harm to the other people. And the disadvantages of nuclear energy can be used as a weapon. As you can see, many countries use nuclear energy as a biological weapon.
So next I am going to talk about wind energy. So what exactly is wind energy? Wind energy is pretty much creating energy by using wind power. So you use that wind to turn the turbine, and that kinetic energy, all of that kinetic energy will turn into mechanical energy and move the motors and everything, and that mechanical energy will eventually convert into electrical energy, which will be used at homes or offices and any buildings that needed electricity. So why do we use wind energy? Wind energy is one of the types of renewable energy, and we know that renewable energy is the energy that we will use in the future, since non-renewable energy will eventually be depleted. We know that wind energy produces a less carbon footprint, so that is way better for the environment and for all of us living here, since we have a huge problem with climate change. So that could help a lot. By using wind turbines, it's actually cheaper. Where do we usually find wind turbines? So wind farms are the place where wind turbines are usually located, and these wind farms are located at rural areas where there aren't that many people, because you know how wind could be really noisy, so it will disturb the people that live around the area. So the top 3 places that you can find wind turbines is China, United States, and Germany. What is gonna happen for the wind industry and wind energy in the future? It's obviously gonna be cheaper, like I said before, and obviously wind energy is definitely one of the top competitors for the energy industry. So thank you.
One form of renewable sources is the solar energy. Solar energy is the application of the solar energy is the solar panel that is used in houses and the big buildings such as this beautiful library. And most of the usage of the solar panels is used in the overseas such as America, Italy, and other big country. Here's the application of the solar. We're going to talk about solar panel. I am the sunlight, which will give energy to the solar panel, and this paper acts as the solar panel in our houses, and this dew as the batteries in the house, and the cell inside her body is the molecule of the battery. Okay, the sun, here comes the sun, the energy comes from the sun, and the battery will get energy, and the cell inside the battery will move like, yay! Okay, here the advantage of the solar. First, no maintenance needed. When the solar panel is first installed in the house, the only maintenance that needed is when we have to install in the house, and later there is no upgrade or update of the usage of the panels in the house. So there is no extra cost needed. And then second, it can be installed anywhere. You can install it in this building, in this beautiful library, in the Kedai Mama, where electrical energy is needed. And the third advantage of the solar is because it can be stored in the battery. As you all know, the girl is over here is the battery, and the cell inside of her body is the molecule of the battery. Therefore, it can be stored and be used anytime you need it when the sunlight is not appear. We know that the sunlight brings all the goodness in our daily life. The sunlight also known as bring disadvantage in our daily life. The first advantage we can get from this solar panel is because it needs a bigger space for greater efficient. Because as we can see, this takes a lot of space. If we just use this side of the solar panel, of course, it will just give us a small energy. Therefore, this is not efficient in a big building such as this library or an office you will work tomorrow. The second disadvantages of the solar panel is because it's no sunlight at night. It's a real fact that everyone knows. Therefore, even though the energy is being stored in the battery, we all know that this is not enough because we need a lot of energy during night, because at night we become the owl. We need energy to play games, and we need the energy to open the light, to switch on the light at the dining table. Disadvantages of the solar panel because we are depend on the presence of the sunlight. What if tomorrow is raining? What if tomorrow is the winter without the sun? What if that happens? Of course, there is no energy. There is not because the energy in the battery will use up, and there is no energy. So how can we live without energy? So think it again.
The final renewable energy is hydro energy. Hydro energy is a potential energy from the water at the river in the high mountains that is used to rotate the turbine in the dam to produce electrical energy. However, this energy has the advantages and the disadvantages. The first advantages of hydro energy is it can control the flow of water. Building the hydro dam can make the flow of the water become more organized. The second of advantages of hydro energy is it has a low operating cost. Since water from the river is natural resources, we can get it for free and make the operating cost become less expensive. The third advantages of hydro energy is it has a reliable sources. Malaysia is popular with many rivers, and make hydro energy one of prime renewable energy is really accepted. Okay, let's move to disadvantage of hydro energy. The first disadvantage of hydro energy, it can cause the environment damage. Build a hydro dam is really need a bigger space, and it causing the forest to be deforestation and really cause the damage to the environment. The second disadvantage is it has a high construction cost. Low operating cost doesn't mean that building is cheap. Average of building hydro dam is about 15 billion ringgit, and that's a lot of money. The final disadvantage of hydro energy is it has a low effectiveness. It is because the non-renewable energy is more effective than the hydro energy. That is all of it. Thank you.